In 2024, the American tourism industry faces an unprecedented crisis, one that few could have predicted just a few years ago. The ripple effects are being felt across the nation, from coast to coast. Once bustling airports and city centers, which used to be filled with the sounds of travelers and tourists, are now eerily quiet and almost deserted. The U.S., long a top global destination for millions, is experiencing a dramatic tourism meltdown that is sending shockwaves through the industry. The absence of South Korean visitors, who were once a reliable and enthusiastic source of revenue, is especially stark and deeply felt by local businesses. For years, Koreans flocked to America for its vibrant culture, world-class shopping, and iconic sites, making them a vital part of the tourism landscape. Now, their absence has left a gaping hole in the travel economy, with entire sectors feeling the loss. This isn't just a minor dip in numbers, it's a fundamental shift with deep and lasting economic and cultural consequences for the country. Businesses from Beverly Hills boutiques to New York's Koreatown restaurants are struggling to survive, as foot traffic and spending plummet. The pain is real, touching not only jobs and livelihoods, but also diplomacy, international relationships, and America's global image as a welcoming destination. How did the so-called land of opportunity lose its appeal to so many international travelers, especially those from South Korea? The answer is complex, rooted in a mix of politics, economics, changing visa policies, and shifting global perceptions of the United States. Former President Trump's rhetoric and policies have fueled debate, turning the crisis into a political battleground and intensifying divisions. But beyond politics, there's a growing consensus among experts and business owners alike. Something has gone very wrong, and urgent action is needed. The disappearance of Korean tourists is more than a statistic. It's a warning sign for the entire U.S. travel industry, signaling deeper issues at play. Understanding why they stopped coming is the crucial first step to bringing them back, and to restoring America's place as a top global destination. The U.S. and South Korea once shared a golden era of travel and cultural exchange, a period marked by optimism and mutual curiosity. It was a time when the distance between the two countries seemed to shrink, and new opportunities for connection flourished. The introduction of the Visa Waiver Program in 2008 made visiting America easier than ever for Koreans, sparking a remarkable tourism boom that changed the landscape of both nations. Korean visitors filled American cities, from the bustling streets of New York to the sun-soaked avenues of Los Angeles, fueling local economies and bringing a vibrant energy wherever they went. Airlines quickly added more direct flights, and travel agencies in Seoul began to specialize in U.S. tours, offering tailored experiences for eager travelers. Korean tourists became known for their high spending, supporting countless jobs in hotels, restaurants, and retail stores across America. Their presence was felt in every corner of the hospitality industry. But this was more than just tourism. It was a living bridge of understanding, with students, families, and friends sharing experiences and building lasting memories between two cultures. Businesses adapted to Korean tastes, adding Korean language signs and menu options, and the relationship between the two countries seemed destined to last for generations. Yet, in recent years, cracks began to show as the world changed and new challenges emerged. Shifts in policy and rhetoric started to tarnish America's once welcoming image, making some travelers think twice before booking a trip. Stories of border difficulties, increased scrutiny, and a volatile political climate made travel less appealing and more uncertain for many Koreans. The seamless, joyful experience of the golden age began to unravel, replaced by hesitation and disappointment. These small changes snowballed, leading to today's dramatic downturn in Korean visitors and the businesses that once thrived on their presence. The golden age ended quietly, almost unnoticed, and few realized what had been lost until it was too late to turn back. Now, the U.S. faces the daunting challenge of rebuilding what was lost and restoring trust with Korean travelers. The question remains, can the bridge that once connected these two nations be restored, or has it been damaged beyond repair? The answer will shape not only the future of travel, but the broader relationship between the US and Korea for years to come. The stakes have never been higher, and the world is watching to see what happens next. The numbers for 2024 are stark, painting a sobering picture for the US tourism industry. Korean arrivals to the US have plummeted by 45% compared to pre-pandemic levels. A dramatic and unprecedented drop. That's hundreds of thousands of lost visitors and billions in lost revenue for hotels, restaurants, and local businesses that depend on tourism. Airlines like Korean Air and Delta have slashed flights, with some routes suspended entirely, leaving seats empty and gates unused. Forward bookings from Korea to the US have nosedived, with travel agencies reporting a sharp decline in interest and reservations. West Coast cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Las Vegas, are hit hardest, their iconic attractions now noticeably quieter. LA's Koreatown businesses report dramatic drops in tourist foot traffic, with many owners struggling to stay afloat. Meanwhile, Korean travelers are flocking to Japan, Vietnam, and Europe in record numbers, filling hotels and popular sites abroad. Koreans haven't stopped traveling, they're just choosing other destinations, seeking new experiences and friendlier welcomes elsewhere. This isn't about economic trouble in Korea, it's about America losing its appeal and competitive edge in the global tourism market. The data is clear. Travelers are voting with their feet, and their choices are reshaping the industry. The US must confront why it's no longer the destination of choice, and urgently address the factors driving visitors away. The future of American tourism depends on it. Reviving its allure is now more critical than ever. Politics have reshaped America's image abroad. Former President Trump's America First rhetoric signaled isolationism to global audiences. For South Koreans, a longtime ally, this shift felt personal. Talk of tighter borders and stricter visas created anxiety for would-be travelers. Korean media amplified stories of difficult border experiences and visa denials. Social media spread tales of suspicion and unwelcoming attitudes. The result? A powerful narrative discouraging travel to the US. Efforts to counter this with diplomatic outreach have struggled to break through. America's political polarization only deepens the perception of instability. For many Koreans, the US now feels less friendly and more unpredictable. That perception is driving them elsewhere. The economic fallout is severe. Korean tourists were high-value visitors, spending big on luxury goods, dining, and entertainment. Retail centers and outlet malls near major cities depended on their business. With fewer Korean shoppers, sales have plummeted, jobs are at risk, and some stores have closed. Hotels and restaurants in gateway cities are struggling with low occupancy and fewer customers. Tour operators have canceled trips once popular with Korean groups. The loss ripples through local economies, reducing tax revenue for public services. The U.S. Travel Association estimates over $3 billion in economic loss from the Korean market alone in 2024. The impact is felt in communities nationwide. Industry leaders are calling for urgent action. John Williams, a major hotel CEO, warns, "We're in uncharted territory. This is a man-made crisis." Tourism boards struggle to market destinations while negative headlines dominate. Sarah Chen of San Francisco Travel says, "Our campaigns can't compete with stories of unwelcoming treatment." Experts point to a loss of soft power. America's appeal is eroding. Korean travelers with many options are choosing friendlier destinations. Industry groups have sent open letters to Congress and the White House, demanding a coordinated strategy. Recommendations include streamlining entry, launching a global Welcome Back campaign, and positive diplomatic outreach. The message: passive approaches aren't working. Without real change, the decline will worsen. The time to act is now. America's reputation and billions in revenue are on the line. The loss of Korean tourists is more than economic. It's cultural. Travel built bridges between the US and South Korea, fostering understanding and goodwill. Fewer Koreans visiting means fewer personal connections and more reliance on media stereotypes. America's soft power and cultural influence are fading. Korean American communities, once vibrant hubs for visitors, are feeling the strain. Businesses owned by Korean Americans are suffering, weakening community ties. Less travel means less mutual understanding. The loss is felt on both sides. Americans miss out on cultural exchange, and Koreans lose first-hand experience. If left unchecked, this cultural withdrawal could lead to greater isolation and misunderstanding. Rebuilding these bridges is essential for both nations' futures. Reversing the decline requires a multi-pronged approach. First, U.S. leaders must change the tone. America must actively welcome international visitors. Policy changes are needed: streamline visas, improve airport experiences, and train border agents in hospitality. The goal: a secure but welcoming arrival for all. The travel industry should partner with Korean agencies to address concerns and rebuild trust. Targeted campaigns, special promotions, and collaboration with Korean influencers can help. Rebuilding trust will take time and sustained effort. America's reputation wasn't damaged overnight, and it won't be fixed overnight. Recognizing that domestic politics have global consequences is key. The future of U.S. tourism depends on deliberate, strategic action. The disappearance of Korean tourists is a warning for the world. America's brand as a welcoming destination is at risk. Economic losses are mounting, but the greater danger is the erosion of soft power and global influence. Cultural exchange and travel are vital for alliances and understanding. The world is watching and moving on to new destinations. Recovery starts with awareness. Every American, from policymakers to business owners, must recognize the value of international tourism. It's about more than money. It's about connection and global leadership. The empty seats on flights from Seoul are a call to reflect and rebuild. The future of American tourism and its place in the world depends on it.